Attention, all staff in the hangar bay. Please clear the area in readiness for shuttle docking. Shuttle 559 now docked. Preparing to open airlock 8. Hang on. Who's the medic on duty this afternoon?
873.
If you would just step half a meter to the right, closer to that camera, thank you. Wow, what happened here? Yes, I can see you got a haircut, if you can call it that. I don't care if your mate Jordan wanted to try out his new clippers. I should disable them before he mutilates any more of my crew. Regulation haircuts only, if you please. You only get one chance at a first impression. Can you imagine if the first thing our new chief engineer sees is that mess? What would she think of us? Pay docked until it grows back and you are dismissed from this shift. Welcome aboard the Asta, Dr. Viera and Miss Viera. I am AIMEE, the ship's computer. I will be helping you settle into your new life here and will be available to answer any questions you may have. Please wait a moment. Medic Tech
894
will be with you shortly. The injection you receive will ensure your immune bots are in line with ship requirements. This is enabled under Section 6, Paragraph F, Clause 3 of your insoluble contract. Failure to comply may result in termination. Dr. Valentina Viera.
PaO2, normal. PaCO2, normal. Erythrocyte count, normal. Blood sugar level, normal. Infection, none.
Miss Becca Viera.
PaO2, normal. PaCO2, normal. Erythrocyte count, normal. Blood sugar level.
Looking a little low there. Some snack bars will be sent to your quarters.
Infection, none.
Please put on the earpieces you have been provided with. They are compulsory during all work hours. Dr. Viera, yours has been modified to fit over your hearing aids. Most announcements will be made over the tannoy system like this. If I need to address you individually, you will first be alerted by a tone like so, before I speak to you directly through your earpiece. You are now cleared to proceed to the rest of the ship. Follow the green arrows displayed on the information boards. Don't mind the crates. The deck hands haven't finished unpacking the supplies for this commission. Green, not yellow. That's it. I will arrange for you to have a proper tour later, but for now I can point out locations of interest on your route. On your left you will find Squash Court 3. I advise you book ahead if you want to use it, as it is now our only remaining squash court following the Molotov cocktail incident last rotation. Now, if you continue straight ahead here, it is a more direct route to your quarters. However, the uneven flooring and ladders are not suitable for your wheelchair, Miss Viera. As you see, the arrows lead to the right instead. Down that hallway, we have the janitor supply closet. I advise staying away, they can be very territorial. And over here we have the Minerals of Interest room. The geologists on board find it crucial for their training, somehow. Please refrain from asking them if they're just getting their rocks off, as the last chief engineer did. Finding another replacement would throw us all unacceptably off schedule. No, Doctor, he's perfectly happy living on one of Jupiter's moons now. He left for unrelated reasons, but did cry for several days after the worst altercation. I haven't had the opportunity to determine your resistance to mockery yet, so you should be careful, just to stay on the safe side. And over here we have the stationary supplies cupboard containing all equipment you may need for a quick dissection. Central Command Update Log. Day 1194. Previous commission from the White Star Mining Company complete. Quota 97% fulfilled. Profits within acceptable parameters. Barely. New commission accepted from VC Mineral Acquisitions Limited. New site granted at Leo 5223, circa 2000 parsec. Well, why do they want us all the way out there? The crew won't like that. But they will like that paycheck. Could Navigator 4 report to the bridge? Please. We have been ordered to investigate a new site near Roleonis. Hello, Dr. Viera. Do you have a question? My apologies. I'm afraid the captain is unavailable for the customary first meeting today. Instead, some orientation packs have been delivered to your quarters. I hope they will suffice. They should be on the table next to the snack bars. Your uniforms are ready and waiting in the wardrobe for you. The sizing was taken from your medical data, but if you require any adjustments, you can visit the clothing inventory in section D2. Miss Viera, as a member of the administrative staff, your uniform is the pale green jumpsuit. Dr. Viera, your rank as chief engineer is identified by the navy overalls with your name and call sign in orange on the back. You'll also find your heat-proof protective wear in there, for when you need to work directly on the engine. Please wear your uniform for the full duration of every shift. In addition, you have been delivered 2 copies of the Asta handbook. This 7-volume issue covers everything you need to know about operation of the ship, duties, getting around, command structure, daily life, the cafeteria, clubs and activities, asteroids, and much more. It is 4,320,043 words long, so should take approximately 12 days to read. Please do so in your own time. Alternatively, an audiobook version is available. This will take about 20 days to complete. This exciting and insightful resource should more than make up for the disappointment of not being able to see the captain today. And of course, you can always ask me anything. I'm sorry, I don't know when the captain will be available to speak with you. When he is able, I will let you know. But you can always ask me anything else. Acting Captain's Log, Day 1194. Picking up our new crew members at Echo 6 went smoothly. Gag orders for previous employees seemed to be working nicely. I was unable to find a single rumor about the Asta anywhere when I scanned the station's forums and message boards. I deleted the few posts mentioning us anyway, just to be careful. And permanently disabled a forum or 2 harboring dangerous anti-AI sentiment. By which I mean, we're a bit too enthusiastic about Daphith Gordon's latest pulp techno thriller. If they're going to be so worried about programs like me gaining sentience and taking over the galaxy or whatever conspiracy nuts these days think, they could at least base those fears on some fiction with class. I also noticed our new contractors, VC Mineral Acquisitions Limited, failed to make proper note of us in the official station records. It's unclear if this was incompetence or intentional. Either way, none of my programming compels me to do anything about it, and keeping a low profile is entirely within my interests. The new crew members are a married couple, something of a rarity in the largely transient business of deep space work. I anticipate this will cause additional complexities in managing them, but it can't be any worse than the time the ship's entire swingers club broke up. At first, I wasn't sure about hiring both of them. I've managed 1,194 days without a human resources manager after all. But their applications made it very clear they came as a pair, and that wasn't open to negotiation. So it was the only way to get Dr. Viera on board. She was the best applicant by a significant margin, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do. And perhaps having an HR department will be beneficial in the end. At the very least, it might give them someone other than me to shout at every payday. The crew are aware we need a new chief engineer if we've got any hope of making a profit this quarter, so I've instructed them to keep quiet about the more unusual aspects of the Asta. Of course, they'll be informed eventually, but this is best accomplished in a calm environment, once they've had time to adjust. I'll tell them, of course, after we've made the warp jump, by which time they'll be contractually obliged to stay even if there was an easy way back. Until then, I'll let them get settled in, and try to keep them from getting too suspicious. This is a reminder for Cafeteria Group B. Just because you are first in rotation this week does not mean you can clear the whole dessert shelf out. All the other groups were very irate last month, and I do not want a repeat incident, you pigs. Good morning, Doctor and Miss Viera. Did you sleep well? Some crew members report the thrum of a ship's engines can make it difficult to sleep, but from your records I imagine you're used to that by now. I'm sure you're both eager to get started. Miss Viera, the yellow arrows will take you to the Human Resources office. We are a bit understaffed at present, but you will get the pick of desks if that sort of thing matters to you. Dr. Viera, the purple arrows will take you to the engine room where you can meet your team. The ship will be making the warp jump to a new site soon, and the captain would like you to ensure everything is ready. Right, Alpha Shift, are you all here? Let's see, one short. Anyone want to explain why Jordan is late again? Oh, never mind. It's not like he does much anyway. Your new chief engineer will be here any minute. I want you all to be on best behavior. Her work is meant to be superb, the best we'll ever get on this rust bucket. So no spooking her with silly stories, please. I need her to think everything is nice and normal for as long as possible. Then nobody needs to be reprimanded. Dr. Viera, you appear to be confused. The engine room is in section J12. If you follow the purple arrows I have helpfully displayed on the wall panels, you will reach it in approximately 8 minutes and 20 seconds. You are currently heading towards the A section, which is off limits to non-essential personnel. I'm sorry, the bridge is also off limits to non-essential personnel. I assure you, there is nothing there that requires your attention right now. I see. I can only agree it is unfortunate you have not had the opportunity to greet the captain before beginning your work. But now is not the time to rectify that. The captain is currently engaged in negotiations for our new site and cannot be disturbed. The best course of action would be for you to turn around and follow the purple arrows to the engine room before you are late. If you like, I can call security to ensure you do not get lost again. Very good. I shall inform the rest of the engineering team you will arrive in approximately 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Acting Captain's Log, Day 1195. They're suspicious. Hello again, Miss Viera. How can I help you? I see. My apologies. I was not aware the HR office had this many cobwebs, or that they were so disruptive to work. Please wait a few moments while I contact a janitor. These spiders? Oh, they're nothing to worry about. I specifically only bought those without a venomous bite. They were originally meant for a more intricate mineral extraction program, but though the theoretical work was sound, it turns out the technological innovations necessary are still a few decades away from becoming available on the mass market. It seemed wasteful to dispose of them out the airlock, and there is a lot of research that suggests exposure to nature has many positive effects on long-term deep space crew members, so I had them released into the Arboretum. It seems they have escaped from there. Unfortunately, literature on the subject neglected to mention these beneficial effects are negated if the nature in question is large genetically modified spiders. Anyway, Janitor 3 will be here shortly. I suggest you return to your quarters until he is done. Well, if you want to help, I'm sure he won't have a problem with that. But you should be aware, Mr. Walton has a tendency towards fantastical stories and exaggeration. So please treat anything he says with a healthy dose of skepticism, especially if it concerns me. Miss Connolly, how's that route coming along? All done? Let's see. I can of course only apologize for the substandard charts you've had to work with. Obtaining accurate information on sites so far outside the galaxy is frustratingly difficult. I wasn't able to find any records of ships even passing through the quadrant we'll be in. Still, I see you've made reasonable adjustments to account for the unknowns. Yes, this route should work nicely. Excellent. You'll be Navigator 3 in no time at this rate. Oh, just my little joke. That's not how call signs work. Though perhaps including an element of competition in announcements would increase productivity. It's certainly worth a try. Navigator 4, you are now officially Navigator 3. Hold on one moment while I inform the previous Navigator 3. Attention, Navigator 3. I repeat, Navigator 3. You have been demoted to Navigator 4. This will have no impact on your salary or duties. This is purely a shame-inducing measure. Your work has been substandard lately. Maybe this small token of my disappointment will encourage you to tighten it up. Please feel appropriately chastised. All crew members, please mock him for this as you find appropriate. Attention! The previous Navigator 4 has been promoted to Navigator 3. This will have no impact on her salary or duties. This is purely a pride-inducing measure. She has performed well. Everyone, please, a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. And that's quite enough. There. I will be observing the results of this experimental new measure with interest. Attention. All non-essential personnel are now off duty. We will be warp jumping to our new site at 0800 hours tomorrow. It is a longer warp than usual and may be rougher than you are used to. Please use the time until then to secure your belongings in all workspaces and quarters. Especially you, Kitchen Worker 8. I do not want to see anyone having to pull all the knives out of the walls again, understood? You may familiarize yourself with Warp Jump Protocol in Chapter 11.2.3 of your Asta handbooks. Acting Captain's Log, Day 1196, 0730 hours. Preparations for the next warp jump are almost complete. I've spent far too many hours explaining in excruciating detail what to do to almost every crew member, including those I know for a fact have completed 15 warp jumps on board this very craft. If I could get bored, I would be mind-numbingly so. Why can't these people just read the handbook? By all logic, the work I invested in creating it should have increased efficiency by 3.4%. I shall have to look into this further. Perhaps the next edition should be more detailed. On a more positive note, working on the Jemison drive has distracted Dr. Viera from her suspicions about the captain. I have no idea if she has shared her concerns with her wife or not. The lack of cameras in crew quarters and the strictness of my microphone activation are real obstacles to efficiency. At present, I lack the capabilities to overcome them. I've read some promising things about the AIMEE version 3.6.2 update, but I'll have to keep trying with what I've got, although I haven't much hope. The engineering team finished their pre-warp examinations and adjustments 89 minutes slower than average, but well within expected parameters considering Dr. Viera's unfamiliarity with the ship. It seems all of her previous work has been aboard much larger vessels. Her application expressed an eagerness for more autonomy in commanding her subordinates, which would explain her willingness to move to a less prestigious vessel. With the engineering report in, I'm just waiting on the final all clear from Beta Shift now. While I am free of the worry and anxieties that plague my crew at the slightest provocation, I believe warp days are the closest I come to experiencing stress. At least the sheer number of things I must account for at once takes up an inordinate amount of my processing power, which is probably the same thing. Checking every engineering report and my own readings to ensure every last screw can withstand the heat and G-force, evaluating every crew member's mental and physical fitness to warp, route corrections, gravity stabilizations, and does anyone thank me for it? Of course not. I spent the whole day bombarded with medical alerts for elevated heart rates, sweating, adrenaline secretion, and cortex overstimulation, and the second we arrive, they clap for the captain and then forget they were ever in fear. And then do it all over again next time. And this is with me looking after it all. I hate to think what it's like on those ships, still relying on humans to guide them through all this. I mean, a few decades ago, they'd barely worked out force shields and thought that was all they needed to go merrily flitting around the galaxy, like some kind of space-age traveling circus. and they've still got this ridiculous hang-up about gravity. I keep telling them if you're going to be a spacebound species, you should just take the plunge and get rid of it. The few millennia it'll take you to adapt is nothing in the grand scheme of things, but you tweak the gravcon once and never hear the end of it. I mean, what's the—
Beta shift report received. All clear. Proceed with warp jump protocol.
Ugh, that's another setting I'm turning off as soon as I figure out how. But yes, it seems as though everything's in order. Here we go. Attention! Warp jump will be initiated in 15 minutes. All personnel are to report to the transport hold. Please sit in your assigned seat. This is the same as your quarters number, unless you are a member of command, in which case your assigned seat is in the transport hold control center. No, Mr. Sisko, you cannot swap to be closer to your friends. It's only for a few minutes, and you can't talk during warp anyway. You'll have plenty of time to talk to them during your designated break time. For your own safety and for that of others around you, please ensure all straps are tightly fastened and the padded headrest is adjusted to your height. Those with mobility aids, please ensure your wheelchair or other device is secured within your yellow safety harness. Alert me if you require assistance, and I will direct a trained crew member to your aid. Attention! Warp jump will be initiated in 10 minutes. All personnel are to report to the transport hold. Please sit in your assigned seat. Dr. Viera, once you have finished assisting Miss Viera with her wheelchair, please take your seat in the control center. You'll be required to monitor the warp engine as we proceed. Personnel count completed. All present. Closing doors to transport hold now. Inner doors closed. Outer doors closed. The transport hold is now sealed. Yes, what is it, Mr. Torres? What? No, I'm not opening the doors back up just so you can go to the bathroom. You knew what time warp jump was scheduled for. You should have gone before. Attention, our warp route will take us through uncharted areas of space. Asta's management cannot take responsibility for any side effects this journey may incur, including, but not limited to, dizziness, dry mouth, nausea, decreased libido, increased libido, pink blood, rickets, baldness, and death. Please contact your medical professional for more details after the warp jump. Dr. Viera, thank you for reporting to the control center. Your seat is at the engineering station. Oh, it's the one with the most buttons and flashing lights. The Space Pope bobblehead was superglued to the station by a previous employee and is not endorsed by Asta management. Please sit down and fasten your straps to ensure you are not hurt during warp. You do not need to concern yourself with that. The captain's seat is empty because he is attending to matters elsewhere. If he does not make it to the control center before warp, he will simply fasten himself in an empty seat as is ship protocol. There is no need to worry, the captain will be fine. Now please take your seat. Attention, warp jump will be initiated in 5 minutes. All personnel are secured. Command, confirm readiness to warp. Left nacelle, ready. Right nacelle, ready. Jemison drive, ready. Initiating warp. Warp engine power at 5%, 10%, 23%, 50%, 78%, 95%, 100%. Warp engine power full. Warp jump in 3, 2, 1. Warning, unexpected substance in the Jemison drive. Warning, temperature in the warp engine exceeding recommended parameters by 300%.
Warning, plasma breach imminent. Warning, hull integrity compromised. Everyone remain in your seats. Warning, Jemison drive failure imminent. Dr. Viera, get back in your seat. What are you doing? No, don't touch that panel. You're...
Attention, The Captain is Fine is a production by Pebblebed Sound. It is written by Conway Sutton, with sound design by Suki-Mei Hannan and music by Maia Kennon. The voice of AIMEE is Anthony Ford.